People who won a lifetime supply contest. How did you win and how's it going? When I was a kid, there was a phone-in competition to rename a popular children's cereal. It cost money to vote as it was a premium number, but my mother let my younger brother vote for fun. What we didn't know at the time was by voting you'd be entered to win a lifetime supply of this cereal, and my brother won. So they called up and our mother told them that we didn't want it. My mother ruined our childhood by telling Kellogg's we didn't want their lifetime supply of cereal. I could be eating that right now. 16 years later, I could still be enjoying that cereal. I would be so mad if my mom did that. You probably could have lived off that cereal as a broke kid in college. In college, I frequented a specific Jack in the Box that was walking distance from campus. I'd occasionally talk with the manager, who was a pretty cool guy, and one of the only few people I knew who were into the World Cup. One day, he says, "You want a lifetime supply of milkshakes?" I thought he was joking, so I was like, "Sure." And he handed me a huge stack of free milkshake coupons. Not so much a contest, but I guess I won the prize for friendliness. This was in the 90s. My granddad won a lifetime supply of Reader's Digest. He was the only doctor in a small village in India, with a population of less than 1,000. He started stacking them up in his clinic, and the village kids would randomly browse through them. As long as there wasn't a rush or they weren't being loud, my granddad would let them sit there for as long as they wanted. I spent my summer vacations in the village with my grandparents. My parents had moved to a nearby city long before I was born. And so it happened that every summer I'd come to the village to find my rural friends speak better English than anyone else in the village. And in some cases, better than my English school-educated city friends, and sharing jokes from Life's Like That and Laughter is the Best Medicine sections. Every time I think back on it, I feel happy and proud of my granddad. This is such a wholesome story. I love that your granddad's free lifetime supply actually seemed to benefit the whole community and allowed the village to learn better English. When I was in college, a guy in my fraternity was featured in a Nike running commercial. He was paid a fixed amount and they would randomly send him shoes throughout the 2 years I knew him. After he graduated, shoes still showed up at my house every quarter until I graduated. The funny part of the story is that he was on the university cross-country team, D1, and when he signed the paperwork, it voided his scholarship. The coach calls him in his office and berates him for half an hour on how he effed up his scholarship. His response was priceless. "I have 4 more semesters and Nike paid me enough to cover in-state tuition for that time. Also, I hate running, but I'm good enough to have gotten a scholarship. Now I have school paid for and will never run again. Good luck to you all though." I won a lifetime supply of knives. I guessed correctly how many sheets of paper the knife could stab through. After I broke the first 2, I was told my third was my last one. Apparently the knives were supposed to last a lifetime. This was not me, but a friend. A friend of mine won a lifetime supply of pizza from Pizza Hut. They calculated his age, the average pizzas a person consumes per year, and did some mathematical calculation and FedExed him a check for $37,000. In my books, he won. That sounds like a pretty awesome prize to win. That way your friend didn't actually have to use the money towards pizzas, but rather if he wanted to save it up or invest it, he could make that decision himself. My wife won a lifetime supply of pet food for our cat. They didn't even bother sending product. They just tacked a few $1,000s onto the $10K cash prize. That was a nice little windfall. The only weird thing was that it was paid for as a stack of maxed out Visa gift cards. You can't really pay things like mortgages and credit card bills with that amounts to a credit card. So we ended up using the gift cards for things like groceries. It's pretty amazing how far your paycheck goes when your bill for food and incidentals is effectively zero. I didn't win, but received a lifetime pass for a music festival. So far, there have only been 2 years of festival, but they just confirmed the 3rd. 2 of the best weekends of my life. Would recommend. Edit. I received it by attending the festival announcement party. Everyone got an envelope upon entry which clearly had passes in them, but said not to open. At the end of the night, if you still had a sealed envelope, they gave you a lifetime pass. I think about 20 out of 200 people maybe won. That would be a really awesome prize to win. I'd imagine it was super hard to hold out and not open the envelope for the entire party, but I bet the people who didn't wait were super bummed out. When I was little, I won a lifetime supply of apples by correctly guessing how many were in a barrel. There were 110 and I guessed 109. The prize was 110 apples at a time each month. It was insane. After the first delivery, my parents begged them to stop. It's impossible for a family of 3 to go through 110 apples before they rot, and our neighbors stopped answering the door when they saw my parents standing there with a bag of apples. Grandpa negotiated free cell service for life for him and his wife when the cell company wanted to put up a tower on his farm. After a few years, they started getting charged because the tower was bought by another company and they wouldn't respect the deal. A friend of mine also won Lifetime Sonic on a radio contest. Every month he gets a Sonic gift card for $200 and he takes everyone up there for a free meal and spends the rest buying random people's meals. My friend won free chicken from Raising Cane's for life, a chicken finger chain. In order to claim his chicken, he had to present the card given to him. After a few months of free chicken, his wallet was stolen, putting an end to his free chicken. Somebody was very happy when they saw that card in his wallet. That must have been so upsetting. I wonder if the friend ever tried contacting the restaurant to see if they would replace the card given the circumstances. I would hope they would, but who knows. I have a friend that did an Arby's commercial years ago. They gave him an Arby's card that can be used for up to $20 or $25 a day. It's like a gift card that gets topped off daily. Only bad thing is he can't save the credit to make a big purchase. It has a cap of $25. Not so much one, but my mother-in-law has free broadband internet for life. The company needed to run a line through her garden. My mother-in-law says, sure, but I want free internet forever, and hasn't paid a cent in 2 years, and the disruption to the back garden was minimal and easily fixed. Not myself, but my aunt won a lifetime supply of donuts from Krispy Kreme. In reality, they just gave her a ton of vouchers for a free dozen of donut boxes. I don't remember how many, but I know she got a box a week for at least a couple years last I checked. She won it by being first in line at a new store opening. Not sure why she went, because she wasn't like a donut queen or anything. I won a lifetime supply of free coffee from a brew shop in town. I guessed correctly how many beans were in a tall plastic cylinder. The shop closed 5 months later. What a bummer. That would be a really awesome prize if you're a coffee drinker, but it sucks it didn't last too long. My aunt won a lifetime supply of rice-a-roni from The Price is Right. She used to get them faster than she could use them, but now, understandably, she is so sick of it that she just stockpiles it in her rice-a-roni closet and donates hundreds of boxes at a time. Yes, she has a full closet of rice-a-roni. The neighborhood kids love her. My high school geometry teacher's son won a contest where he was featured on boxes of Kraft mac and cheese and also got a lifetime supply of it. He had a picture of it, / a cutout of the box on his desk, which was hysterical, and all I remember was him complaining about how sick he was of mac and cheese. I won a lifetime supply of Vegemite. It was only 2 jars. When I was a kid, I won 2 free Blockbuster rentals a month for life. It was awesome for a while, but now it's not going so well. It wasn't a lifetime supply, but it was a year's supply of flavored milk. The company hosting the competition is based in Perth, Western Australia. The goal of the competition was to rename each flavor of milk to something uniquely Western Australian based on its color. In my case, I renamed the spearmint flavored milk, which is green, to Transperth, which is the public transport service in Western Australia. I came in second place for my submission and won a year's supply of flavored milk. Unfortunately, they couldn't figure out the logistics of sending me the milk, so in the end they just transferred the equivalent amount of money into my bank account. I think it was about $1,200 or so. The money is long gone and well spent, and the irony is that I don't think I spent any of that money on milk. Go figure. After coming in last with no money after appearing in College Jeopardy, one of my college buddies got a consolation prize of a lifetime supply of juicy fruit gum. He shared it with the whole dorm and it lasted about 2 months. I won a lifetime license for Cerberus, a thief protector for Android smartphones. They stopped my lifetime license after nearly 2 years because they needed money. I won the lottery and I get $2,000 each month for the next 30 years. Not really a lifetime, but I'll probably be dead before then. During the Hunt for the Grey M&M contest back in the 90s, I came in second place and won a year's supply of M&Ms. They sent me vouchers for 365 individual bags of M&Ms. It was cool. Peanut M&Ms are still my favorite snack. I probably gave half of them away to my friends. Last month, I won a lifetime supply of pizza, 1 a day for the rest of my life, for being a restaurant's 5,000th Twitter follower. Even better, my husband won too. We both followed to make sure one of us was the 5,000th, and didn't realize the prize was for the 5,000th and 5,001st. So we both get free pizza for life. Plus, it's really, really good pizza. It's been called the best in the UK by a bunch of food critics and is crazy popular locally. So we're pretty happy at the moment. That must have been super exciting. And what are the odds of you and your husband winning? That's awesome the way it worked out that you were just trying to make sure that one of you were the winner, but both ended up winning. Now you don't have to fight over which kind of pizza to have every night. A friend of mine found a bag of all grey M&Ms in 1997. They gave him a lifetime supply, $1 million worth of candy. To this day, he gets several boxes delivered to his doorstep weekly. For those who don't remember, a bag of grey M&Ms was advertised to get you $1 million, but only if it said on the inside of the bag in the fine print. Even then, he was sorely disappointed when he learned it was just $1 million worth of candy. I won a year's supply of Chick-fil-A. They gave me 52 meal vouchers. It was pretty cool and I never had any trouble redeeming them. My dad, who's a doctor, helped deliver this woman's baby. Turns out she was the owner of a local ice cream shop. She offered him free ice cream for life. He rarely ever takes us there, and when we do go, he never brings it up because he's certain the lady forgot about her own offer. 3 years ago, the Chick-fil-A in our mall had a contest where you donated $1 and got to reach into a box and pull out a ticket. I pulled the golden ticket, which was free Chick-fil-A for a year. I was ecstatic. I usually don't eat fast food, but I will throw down some Chick-fil-A. So I used my voucher for my free meal and happily went on my way. My voucher was only valid at that particular location, and a few days later I was in the mall again, so I figured I'd cash in for a free meal. I went to the counter, ordered my meal, and presented my voucher. The manager came out and told me that part of the guidelines is that I could only use it once a week, and its worth was 1 combo meal. It was awesome to get some free Chick-fil-A for a while, but as a guy in my mid-20s, I just don't find myself at the mall 52 times in a year. There were some days when I go out of my way to go get a free lunch during the week, but in reality, I probably used it 15 to 20 times at most. I won what could be considered a lifetime supply of M&Ms from a contest some club in my high school held. It was a contest where you had to guess the number of M&Ms in this massive jar. So being the nerd I am, I borrowed a friend's calculator and mathematically calculated the number in the jar. I was off by like 30 in a jar with over 16,000 M&Ms in it. I had M&Ms for years and could not put a dent in that supply. Eventually I had to throw them out because M&Ms do get funky after a few years. To this day, some 20 years later, I still do not care for plain M&Ms. Let me know which of these lifetime supply stories were your favorite. I'm also curious if any of the listeners have ever won a lifetime supply of anything, and if so, how did you win and how did it go? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.